this guide consists of 3 parts. The first part is going to be the standard Bracken kills, like just how to just loop him normally. The second part is going to be how to cheese him, and I'm going to also include how to kill him with knives, yield signs, stop signs, how to do door cheese, how to do all sorts of things. The third part is going to be a little info about the AI. Now for the inputs of the standard kill. There are 2 methods, one of which is strafing to the back and right. You don't let go of S or D, that's what I did right there. And the other method is to only hold D. The second method lets you make a much tighter circle, so it's good for tight spaces, but I generally prefer the first method. In facility you can kill him in main, loot rooms, Bracken room, in a locker room, and even in the tight maze corridors. Mansion is very large, so you can kill him just about anywhere, even in these smaller rooms. As for the factory section of Mineshaft, you can kill him everywhere also because of how big the corridors are, but in the caves this was the only tile that I was able to consistently kill him in. You should never jump during the Bracken kill because it's very hard to predict his movement mid-kill. The thing that makes a lot of people fail the Bracken kills is starting to strafe way too late. You'll know you're doing it right when the Bracken is looking to your left and he's never actually looking directly at you. He's just chasing your after image. Also, if you play with a flashlight and you see a dead end room, you can drop the flashlight right before the entryway, so that if the Bracken approaches, you'll see his shadow. On to the second part of this video, which is how to cheese the Bracken. My favorite method would be door cheese. You just want to spam E, and you're going to time your hits so that you click right when the door closes. This ensures that your E presses don't conflict with your mouse click, because sometimes if you click your mouse while pressing E at the same time, you won't be able to interact. So if you spam click, you'll die. Here's me trying to do door cheese while spamming both E and left mouse button. Yep, the E click just does not register. You can do door cheese from both sides of the door, as in both the inside and the outside, but it is way better to do it from the other side, where the door pushes out the Bracken instead of pushing you. The reason for that is that when he opens the door, sometimes the door pushes you and then you need to reposition. So I'll mention this again in the AI part of the video, but when a Bracken is aggro and nobody's inside, or you're in the air, he will try to path to main, and he'll camp main. So anytime you jump, he'll go to main. So here, this jump strat involves having main in front of you, and basically every time you jump, Bracken will run away from you, so you're gonna be safe. So you just aggro the Bracken, and every time you jump, he runs away to you, so you pass to main. And you just try to time your jumps so you can barely get in a hit. I don't like this method because it's kinda inconsistent and risky, but it works. If you are trying to use a stop sign, then you can totally still do this normal loop method. However, it is basically impossible with a yield sign. So what I would recommend you do with a yield sign is to just door cheese it. So what happens often is that you chase Bracken for so long that you run out of stamina and now you can't do the kill anymore. So what you can do is either hit him to gain his aggro and then jump off of Navmesh to regain stamina and then kill him like I just showed. Or the second and better method is to just walk him down until he walks through a door and then just door cheese him. This is easier and safer and obviously requires no stamina. Okay, so for the very niche but still pretty cool knife kill, what I find to be the most consistent is I do the regular strafe back and right, but every like half second or so I have to pause to give him time to catch up because you're so fast with 0 weight. Here I am trying it again. By no means is this skill consistent, but it is cool. So again, I basically tried to pause every half a second to give him time to catch up. So remember when I said that if Bracken is aggroed and nobody's inside, it paths to main? Yeah, so this means that if main is at the top of the staircase in the facility, and you aggro the Bracken, every time you jump, it'll try to go to the top of the staircase. So you could just aggro it, sit at the bottom, and every time it gets close to you, just jump. And every time it gets far away, stay at the ground, sort of to keep it in this nice area to kill it. This is by far the easiest kill method in this whole video. Here's another way to kill him in the staircases, where you have to hit him once at the top diagonal, then 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit, 4. You gotta hit him 4 more times on the way down. He's really bad at making turns, so you'll be fine. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Also, if you have a long enough corridor, you can just kill Bracken by running straight back. The best spots for facility are main, all sizes of loot rooms, Bracken room, and staircases if no main is at the top. For mansion, everywhere goes, but the more space you have, the better. For mineshaft, these corridors are big enough, but just make sure you don't run into a minecart or a crate or anything. Door cheese is valid on all 3 interiors, and preferably if you can, always stay on the inside of the door, so that the door opens out to push the Bracken. Okay, now on to the AI part of the video. So I won't be mentioning what Alter Ego did in his AI Explained video, but I will mention a few key concepts. Those are that you already know that the Bracken has a stalking phase, a retreating phase, and a chasing phase, or his aggro phase. Well, every time a dungeon generates, the map tries to find the farthest point away from main, and it assigns that point to be the Bracken's nest. Now what that means is that every time the Bracken is in the stalking or his retreating phase and nobody's inside, he will default to sit in that area, which in this case is right here in this belt room. So this is his nest, so because I'm sitting on the rail, he doesn't know that anybody's inside, so he will just chill at his nest. Now what this means is that during his stalking phase, he will pass to the closest player, right, without being spotted out of line of sight, and if no one's inside, he's gonna go to his nest. In his retreating phase, he's gonna run away from the player, and again, if nobody's inside, or you're not on navmesh, he's gonna go back to his nest. This is why Bracken tends to camp so much, because if a dungeon generates and fire exit happens to be the deepest point away from main, then that means that the Bracken will have his nest pretty much on fire. That's why as soon as you enter fire and you instantly die to Bracken, this is because his nest is on the fire exit door. Now, what about his aggro phase? If Bracken is in his aggro phase, as I've already mentioned, he will go camp main. He will go sit at the main door. So, quick recap, I'm on the ground, so he's running away from me, right? But as soon as I get off navmesh, he tries to go back to his nest, right? Well, his nest is right here, which is the farthest point away from me. Now, here when I hit him, he instantly tries to go for me, but as soon as I get off the ground, you can see him already immediately rushing to path to main. Here, again, I aggro it, and you can see it's going straight to main. Here, on a different seat, you can see that main is all the way over there, and fire is right here, which makes it so that the Bracken's nest happens to be in the same room as fire. Of course, if you get unlucky, his nest could literally be on top of the fire exit door. Using the same logic, that means that if I know that main is at the top of the staircase, I can safely use that staircase to get a free Bracken kill. So yeah, as soon as I aggro him and I jump, he's trying to go up the staircase because main is up there, giving me a free Bracken kill. Hope this helps.